It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for The Last of Us on HBO. On this video, we're going to be taking a look at some pretty interesting casting news that was revealed yesterday during the Summer Game Fest. I did talk about this in the previous video that I did, but in this one, we're going to specifically dive deeper into this casting, and I'm going to make some predictions as far as what characters these two new actors are going to play. So it's going to be my prediction / theory video. Now, if you don't know what the casting is, Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson, who of course voiced Joel and Ellie in the video game, have been cast to join The Last of Us. Now at this point, we don't know for sure whether they're cast to join season 1 or season 2, but we're obviously gonna have to wait and find out. But one bit of information that I do have, they have completed filming season 1, and to the best of my knowledge, neither Troy Baker or Ashley Johnson have been seen filming anything for the show. That makes it more likely that they've been cast to join season 2. Obviously, season 2 has not been green lit yet, so that's another thing to keep in mind. But another thing I do want to say is, because they are filming for The Last of Us, or they've been filming in the city that I live in, Calgary, Canada, I know a lot of information about who's been on the set, who hasn't been on set, and stuff like that. So I can say with a fair amount of confidence that Troy Baker has not been seen at any of the filming locations, even though he was in Calgary for Comic Expo during the time when they were filming. So if he did any filming, it might have been during that time, but it's very unlikely. But in the case of Ashley Johnson, she hasn't really been seen in the city, so it's extremely unlikely that she's done any filming, unless they've shot their scenes elsewhere, which is again a little bit of a stretch. But we're gonna make some predictions on what characters Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson are gonna play. One of the most popular theories is that Troy Baker is gonna play the Doctor. Obviously, the Doctor was a big part of the story in The Last of Us Part 2, and obviously he was also there in Part 1. He wasn't a big character or anything, but he was involved in a pretty major scene. And in the case of Ashley Johnson, it is heavily speculated that she might be playing Ellie's mom in a flashback scene. So that is extremely interesting. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break this down in further detail and kind of go through a few other possibilities. Alright, as always, before we jump into this, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's just get right into it. Now, one thing I want to mention, which I forgot to mention in the intro, it has been confirmed that both Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker will play major roles in the story. So they're not just going to be background characters or characters that are not going to have a big part in the story. Hence why we're predicting that they're going to play some of these bigger characters that might actually impact the story to an extent. So let's get right into it. So obviously they're not going to play Joel and Ellie. That's known. Pedro Pascal is going to be playing Joel, and Bella Ramsey is going to be playing Ellie. So they're not going to be playing their video game counterparts. They're also not going to be playing any of the characters from Part 1, or any of the main characters from Part 1, like Tommy or Tess or someone like that, because all of those characters have also been cast. So that's why whoever they play is either going to be an original character that doesn't exist in the story in the video game, or at least they don't play a part in the story, or a character from Part 2. Now, as far as Ashley Johnson, like I said, it is heavily speculated that she's going to be playing the role of Ellie's mom in a flashback scene. There's also a lot of rumors going around, and it's been heavily theorized that we will see some sort of a flashback with Ellie's mom in season 1. So regardless of whether Ashley Johnson plays her or not, it's been heavily speculated that we will see Ellie's mom in the TV adaptation. We obviously didn't see her in the video game. We did see, however, letters from her in Ellie's backpack. So there's definitely things that they could pull from that letter to tell a story in the TV adaptation. To put it in simple terms, because of those heavy speculations about the flashbacks with Ellie's mom and also the speculations that Ashley Johnson is going to play Ellie's mom, those two things line up. Next up is Troy Baker. Who is Troy Baker going to play? Like I said, one of the most popular theories is that he's going to play the doctor that appeared at the end of part 1 of the game, and he was in a lot of scenes in part 2 of the game. Now, in my opinion, this would be a pretty interesting choice, and I think it would work. It would definitely fit. I've said this before, the last thing we need as fans is for them to just bring these two actors in just for the sake of bringing them in. They need to be playing a character that fits, that makes sense. You know what I mean? And in the case of the Doctor, I think that's definitely a possibility, and it would be very interesting because I do see Troy Baker playing that sort of a role. There's another pretty interesting fact about this. Like I mentioned, Troy Baker was in Calgary, which is one of the key cities where they filmed The Last of Us, for a comic expo, and around the time when he was here, they were obviously filming for The Last of Us in the city, but interesting enough, they were filming for scenes that appeared to be scenes of the St. Mary's Hospital, otherwise known as the Fireflies Hospital. So that is extremely interesting. I mean, it could be a coincidence, but who knows? Maybe, just maybe, he was secretly filming scenes as the Doctor when he was there for the Comic Expo. Again, I don't know for sure, but it's a possibility. Now, there are two other characters that Troy Baker could be playing, characters from part 2 of the game. One is Owen and the other is Manny. Now, in my opinion, these would not be good choices. It's also possible that both Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker will be playing brand new characters who never existed in the video game. And if that's the case, then it's impossible to make predictions about it, you know? The same thing actually happened to the voice actor for Tommy in the game, Jeffrey Pierce. He's actually gonna appear in season 1. It was confirmed a while ago, but he'll be playing a brand new character named Perry. Tommy will be played by Gabriel Luna in the TV adaptation. So there's definitely a possibility that they're going to be playing original characters. And if that's the case, it might be, in my opinion, a way better direction than the Doctor direction even, because in that case, they have their own true identity in the TV adaptation. They're not taking on another character's story in the video game. You know what I mean? It would be a good way for them to distance themselves that way from some of the more known characters from the game. But then again, at the same time, if they go that direction, how much of a major role can they really have? So there's a few things to keep in mind here. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.